Welcome to the Nerdthusiast Gaming Podcast, where today we're going to be discussing Dead by Daylight with our Twitch streamer Taylor. Taylor, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
With me as always is my good friend Wes. Wes, how you doing?
What's going on, my friend? How are you?
Doing great. Now, the main topics of the show, about halfway through the show, Taylor's going to be leaving us. We're going to be discussing some light gun games, some notable light gun games, and then we're going to be discussing the evolution of a franchise. And this is going to be like an ongoing series. So this one is going to be about Prince of Persia. So make sure you guys stick around for that. Just a quick bit of housekeeping. Remember to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all those things. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to us over on YouTube. And if you could and would support us over on Patreon, we would greatly appreciate it. Patreon.com/Nerdthusiast. You can support us for as little as $1 a month and get exclusive content. This show would be ad-free for you as well if you're at the $5 tiers, early and ad-free. All right, so let's hop into things. Taylor streams for us over on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Nerdthusiast is where you can catch her. Taylor, what days, times do you stream?
So I normally stream on usually Monday nights, anywhere between 7 to 8 p.m. till usually around 10ish. Usually depending on what I have going on the next day. If I got work, I'll stream a little bit longer. I'll hang out a little bit longer, but usually overall it's around 7 or 8ish till around 10.
Cool. And are you exclusively streaming Dead by Daylight, or do you hop in other stuff, or what's up with that?
So I generally stream Dead by Daylight. I feel like it's just the most interactive. That's something I enjoy. I know all about it. But every now and then I'll stream other kinds of games. For different varieties of games that I'll stream.
Okay, cool. Now, Wes and I probably aren't too familiar with this. I know I'm not. I know this is an online multiplayer game. Have you played this at all, Wes?
I have not. I was curious. I was going to say, so what is Dead by Daylight?
It's funny because the name has nothing to do with the game itself. So Dead by Daylight basically is like a multiplayer game. You have a killer. It's an online game, so you play with other people. You have a killer, and then you have 4 survivors, and the objective is to repair 5 generators in the map or in the game. And while you're doing that, because they take about 90 seconds, but there's a lot of different add-ons and perks that survivors can equip and that killers can equip to kind of alter the game and how fast you do certain things. While you're repairing the generators, the objective is to not get killed by the killer. And the killers can range from a Michael Myers to a Freddy to a Leatherface to Ghostface to a bunch of other different kinds of killers, and try to not get killed. They hook you, and you have 3 attempts to be hooked, and then once the 3rd attempt, you're dead for the whole game, and basically it's game over. But you can spectate your other fellow survivors if you are friends with anybody in the match.
You could probably do things like revive like teammates and stuff like that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so once someone gets hooked, the objective is to have another survivor come and get you off the hook. And there's other things to do, like you can open up chests. Like there's many different things in the game that you can do to get blood points, which is what they use as money to get like your toolboxes, your med kits, flashlights, maps, and there's a couple of other like random things that they'll sponsor if they have like an event going on. But yeah, there's many things to kind of do in the game, and things to gather points and try not to get killed.
So I have a question. So you said there's a bunch of different killers, and the ones you mentioned, are all the killers from horror movies, or are there just like new generated ones?
Most of them, yeah. Most of them are from different horror movies or previous other games. Like I know they have a Resident Evil chapter. They have a Halloween chapter. Like I said, they actually had a Stranger Things chapter, but that has not. I guess there's a whole issue with the whole buying out of the rights to it. But the survivors are still in there, and so is the killer. But the map is gone, so you still have Nancy and Steve. Then you still have the Demogorgon as one of the killers, and he creates portals. And every killer has their own different, specialty. Like some can teleport, some can go invisible. Like Michael Myers, he doesn't have a heartbeat. And then there's certain perks that survivors can have to kind of help counter-react those specialty items that the killers have. But basically, at the end, the whole objective is to not get killed, do the generators, and try to find an exit gate and get out.
That's awesome. So
Cool.
is everyone in there is a person, right? There's no NPCs, there's no the computer characters. It's all different people, including the killer.
Correct. Yes. You can do, there is an option to play killer with a friend, but it doesn't count because, I mean, you can play for fun, but if you really want to get like the blood points and get all like the actual things, like you can't, it's usually you don't know who the killer is because you can just kind of mess around at that point to get blood points and stuff like that. So usually if you're playing for the real stuff, you don't know who the killer is. But you can play with other fellow survivors and you can kind of help each other out.
So you could be playing with like 4 or 5 other people. One of them could be the killer, and you don't know. Is that how it is?
Yeah, so basically, on my Monday nights, I play with a group of two other people, so it's a total of three. But there's four survivors, so there's usually just one random that we don't know. And
Okay.
sometimes, usually most of the time, you don't talk to them. It's just like whoever's in our party chat. So it's me and the two other people, and we can kind of just help each other out, like throughout the game, like where you at, is the killer near you, or what's he doing, or if someone's hooked, you can kind of like see where the killer's going, and if you know that your friends are over in the direction, because usually when you're on the hook, you can see the outlines of everyone on the map to see where they're at. And you can kind of give them a heads up, like, hey, killer's coming toward you, so just be aware. And then, like I said, sometimes it's beneficial, especially if they don't have a heartbeat and you don't know where the killer's at.
So do you have the option of being the killer if you want to, or is it like randomly chosen, or?
You can have the option. So when you load the game, you can either hit killer or survivor. Killer, you can pick whoever you want, and then they throw you into a lobby with four of the random survivors. You have no idea who they are. Um,
Okay.
yeah, you have no idea who they are.
But
If
to
you
be a survivor, that's the only time you can team up then?
Correct. So, like I said, so you have your options of being killer or survivor. Killer, you pick your killer, and you don't know who the other survivors are because you don't want to know who they are. If you choose survivor, then you can create your own party with multiple people, but it's only up to four. So, if you have like five other people that want to play, you can only do four. And then you can create a party chat with them, you can communicate with them, you can play with them, but you don't know who the killer is. You have no ties to the killer.
So I know you said it's generally a multiplayer online game, but is there an option for like a single player and then the other survivors can be bots, or it's
Mm,
strictly
no.
online only?
It's strictly online only. The only time it's a bot is when you're going through the training. If you're a new player to Dead by Daylight and you go through the training, I guess the demo, those are the bots.
Mhm.
You'll have a bot, like a killer who's a bot, and then you have like another survivor that you're with that's a bot, and it kind of tells you how to do certain things like vault through windows or how to repair a generator or just different things that you do in the game that are important, how to
Okay.
unhook somebody and stuff like that. And then they also have the same thing as a killer too. If you want to learn how to play killer, they have a demo. Survivor, I think probably a demo to survivors, and then they kind of teach you on how to chase, how to hit, depending. Usually the demo is the same killer. Like you don't get to demo different killers. It's just the one killer. It teaches you just you like how to use like your basic attack, and then how to hook and kind of just do the objectives from a killer point of view.
Cool.
So why Dead by Daylight? Like what drew you into this game?
So I'm someone that likes horror. I love Halloween. Like I love Halloween as a holiday in general. I guess holiday in general.
It's
And
a
then I just
holiday.
love yeah, holiday. I guess depending and then just I guess Halloween in general, like Michael Myers, Freddy. Like I just so like when this game came out, I don't even really know what made me like download it. I guess I remember someone talking about it, and I was like, you know what, like I'm gonna try this. I like it because I'm definitely not someone that can play shooter games. You don't want to play a shooter game with me, so I saw this game and I was like, you know what, like I like this. Like there's like an objective. Like you do this, you try to avoid this, and it's creepy because like, usually the maps are dark, there's fog, like and the heartbeat gets louder and louder as they get louder. So especially if you're new to this game, it's really creepy. Now at this point, it just irritates me sometimes, but in the beginning, it was definitely really creepy. It makes you jump, and I like that. I thought it was fun, and I feel like it definitely can draw people in. Um, so I kind of just chosen. I think I don't remember which year it came up. I know it came out a couple years, like a few years ago, and I probably think I downloaded it within a few weeks of it coming out, and I've been playing it ever since, and it's changed a lot.
Yeah, they update that stuff all the time, so that's cool. It's like your go-to though. Did you
Yeah, like
ever
I can
try?
remember.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say I can remember a lot of the things that how they were back in like when we first started. Like um, something I also forgot to mention too is if for some reason all your other fellow survivors die and you're the last one on the map, and you still because you can't leave the map until all 5 generators are completed.
Mm-hmm.
And if people die and there's still 4 generators left, you can't do 4 by yourself. So basically, there's a hatch. It's a secret hatch that spawns in the game anywhere in the map. You have to go find it. It makes a noise. You have the opportunity to jump through that hatch to escape. But if the killer finds it before you, he can close it. And then you have to resort to your 2 exits. And then usually at that point, you kind of just know you're dead. So you kind of just like sit there.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna happen from time to time, I'm sure.
But like in the beginning of the game, when the game first came out, the hatch spawned after the first gen was completed, and then it would just you could find it. And some people became an issue because people wouldn't even do anything because they were so petrified. They would just sit on top of the hatch and not move. And now it won't spawn at all until the end of the game, and then you can find it. So
Gotcha.
that's just an example of one of the things that have changed. I remember that was still existed when the game first began.
Yeah, I'm big into game preservation, and I'm always interested to see if these companies ever keep like builds of that, the way things used to be. Like, it's just like Fortnite. These things are ever changing. So,
Mm-hmm.
is there a build still of like the original Fortnite? Is there a build of Dead by Daylight version 1, version 2.0, 3? Like, are they saving these somewhere so you can possibly play them in the future at some point, or are they just like delete it and you're never going to see them again? That's what concerns me. I wish these places would like make sure there's somehow each version is preserved.
Yeah, that definitely would be nice too. So we can also maybe give people the opportunity to kind of see what the game was like, especially if someone who just now downloaded it, like they have no idea what the game used to be like. So I feel like it could actually kind of be fun, maybe. I don't know, maybe fun. Or like maybe trying to see if they can like, keep certain things that they just, updated, but then maybe like implement something that they first created in the beginning and kind of see how they kind of coincide with one another.
Yeah, that'd be cool if they brought some stuff back like that. I would enjoy that.